Hello, I'm Jill at engVid, and today's lesson is on the pronunciation of some words which contain either S or Z sounds. They look the same quite often or very similar, but the pronunciation is different depending on various factors. So let's have a look at some examples. There's a rule that you can follow that if it's a verb, an action word, the sound is a Z sound, Z, Z, as with the word close. Okay, if you ask someone to close the window, it's a Z sound. But if you have an S sound, it will probably be either an adjective, a noun, or an adverb, so that if you have, I like to sit close to the window, that's an adverb, close to the window, then it's an S sound. And also, the window looks out onto the close. A close is like a little street, or maybe a little enclosed area. A close, you sometimes hear street names are something close, like Clifton Close, something like that with capital C, close. So it's a sort of small street outside where people live in a residential area usually. Okay, so you can see that the word C-L-O-S-E is spelt the same for all of these, but the pronunciation for the verb is close with a Z sound, and for the other two, for the noun and the adverb, it's close with an S sound. Okay, so this is a little rule that you can follow for a few other words as well. So let's have a look at those words and I'll explain each one. So here's the word we've just used here, close, for the verb to close your eyes, close the window, close the door, okay? But if you're using this word as an adjective or an adverb, you say close, sitting close to the window, okay? And also as a noun, the close, the little street outside, close, with an S. Okay, so another verb and noun, which the same thing happens to, is use, to use, which is the Z sound. What kind of pen do you use? I don't think there's an adjective or an adverb for that word, but we have a noun, use. What use is a pen? When the ink has run out, what use is that pen? And what use is a noun, use, with an S sound, okay. And similar to use, we have excuse, or excuse me, to excuse somebody is the verb. But if you use it as a noun, if I make an excuse why I can't go to somebody's party, I gave them a good excuse, and that's a noun, excuse with S. Excuse me, I have an excuse. So it depends on what part of speech it is, a verb or a noun. Okay. Then this one, mostly we think of this word as a noun, a house, a building where somebody lives, house. so it's an S sound, and it's a noun. But you can use it as an adjective if you're describing, for example, somebody who paints and decorates. They are a house painter. So there you're using the word house as an adjective to describe what kind of painter. So it can be used as an adjective. But you can also, as a verb, you can house people. If you have enough rooms to house 100 people, something like that. So house, to house, as a verb, has the Z sound in it. Okay. Then we have a couple of examples where the spelling actually changes, but the Z and the S rule applies to these as well. And also people often get confused with this one, loose and lose. So it's useful to see that and clarify, when is it a single O, when is it a double O, okay, as well as how to pronounce it. Okay, so next one, lose, to lose something. I hate it when I lose my keys, so that's a Z sound. If something is loose, though, this is a different spelling, double O instead of one O, but loose, I'm wearing a loose scarf, it's not tight round my neck, so it's loose. As an adjective, it's pronounced loose with an S sound. And then there is a noun, it's not used very much, but in one context, if some animal, wild animal, has escaped from a zoo, you say it's on the loose, on the loose. So that's a noun, and it's also double O and with the S sound. Okay. And then finally, another one where the spelling changes, and strangely, the Z sound is spelt with an S, and the S sounds are spelt with a C, just to make it different. But to advise somebody, I have to advise you about something, is a Z sound, that's the verb. If you have an advice session with somebody, that would be this as an adjective, advice session. So that's an S sound, advice, spelt with a C, but S sound. And to give somebody some advice is a noun. So again, advice with an S sound, but spelt with a C. Okay, so there are not many words that do this. I've found as many of them as I could, so there are not many. But I hope that helps to clarify a little bit. And then in the second part of the lesson, I will give you, we've got 3 example sentences here using close, close, close. I'll give you some more example sentences using these words in different ways so that you can hear the different pronunciations. Okay. Okay, so let's look at some example sentences using these words, and I'll give you the chance to decide how to pronounce each one depending on whether it's a verb or a noun or an adjective or adverb. Okay, so let's look at the first pair of sentences, which are both using this word. Okay, so you have to decide whether to say use or use. So, first of all, this bicycle is broken. It's of no to me. And the other sentence, if you need to get home quickly, you can my bicycle. Okay, so one is S, one is Z. So which one? which is the verb. If you find the verb, then you know the other one is the S sound. So the verb is Z, the other one is S. So which one is the verb? Okay, is it the first sentence using the verb or the second sentence? Okay, you can use my bicycle. That's the action word, to use the bicycle. Okay, so that's the Z there. And it's of no use to me, because the use, that's the clue. It has the definite article. If you reword it, the use of. No use is a noun. So that's the S sound. Okay. Right. So then we have another pair of sentences. And this time the word is that one. So he made an as he didn't want to go to the cinema. And then please me, I need to leave now. So which one is the verb? Which one is the noun? Okay, so you're asking somebody to excuse you. Please excuse me. So that's the Z one. Excuse me. Okay. Oops. Sorry. There we are. So this one, he made an excuse. That's a noun. Okay. So with an S sound, he made an excuse. It has a with it, the indefinite article. An excuse. Noun. So he made an excuse. Please excuse me. Right. Then we have 3 sentences together, because we've got this word. With 3 different parts of speech. So we don't have enough rooms to all the students. Their was designed by a famous architect, and I have a friend who works as a painter. So, which one is the verb? Okay, you've got a clue here, to house. You've got the infinitive here, to house. So that's the verb, to house, to find space for all the students, for one room for each student, or 2 students sharing. We don't have enough rooms to house, to accommodate. Okay. Then their, noun, their house is a noun. Their house was designed by a famous architect, and I have a friend who works as a house painter. So adjective, noun, house painter. So another S sound. Okay. Then we have another 3 sentences for this word. Where the spelling changes as well from 1 O to double O. So, an escaped tiger is on the from the local zoo. There's a hole in your pocket. Don't your keys. And I prefer to wear clothes. They're more comfortable. So, which is the verb? So telling somebody not to do something this time. Don't lose your keys. So that's the verb with the Z sound. Okay, and you can tell also from the spelling, because the verb has a single O and the other two have double O. So an escaped tiger is on the loose. That's an unusual expression. I don't know how the loose can be used for anything else except anything, any wild animal, or possibly an escaped prisoner from a prison could be on the loose. Anybody who is out, who shouldn't be out, basically, the loose. Okay. And I prefer to wear loose clothes. They're more comfortable. Loose as an adjective. Loose clothes. S sound. Okay? Right. Then finally, for this word, which has a change of spelling as well, again. So, her was very helpful. I need someone to me. We had an session at college today. So which is the verb, first of all? And the spelling will give you a clue. Again, you've got an infinitive here, to advise. So that gives you a clue. Advise, Z sound. To advise. I need someone to advise me. Her advice, S sound, noun, her advice, the advice, was very helpful. And here it's used as an adjective, an advice session. So that's S sound again, but spelt with a C. So we had an advice session at college today. Okay, so that's a bit complicated, but I hope it's helped you to find your way around it and work out how to pronounce these words that all look the same based on what part of speech they are. So, thank you for watching. Please go to the website engvid.com where there's a quiz to test you on this, and see you again next time. Bye for now.